All right, here we go. So on it, and there was sealed with it 7 what? Seals. This is probably what it would probably look like. All right? So this is what the scroll most likely would look like. I mean, he's illustrating and he's giving a symbol, but this is it. There's 7 seals sealed with different, we'll find out, judgments and things about to come. But notice, it's not this wrapped up scroll with 7 on it. It's 7 rolls. So what they would do is they write. They would turn it just a little bit, really tightly, and then they would seal it. And then they would move down a little bit more. Why? Because as soon as this seal is broken, they can actually open up and actually read what it said. Until the next seal was broken, to the next seal, and you're like, what does that mean? Revelation chapters to come reveal what is about to happen after the seals have been what? Broken. Okay, here we go. So you're like, okay, so what is on the scroll? Nobody knows exactly what is on the scroll, but for the most part, theologians really have the idea of the following. This scroll is sort of like a last will and testament of the one who wrote it. And the one who wrote it is God. Jesus wrote his will down because he has a plan. He already predestined. He already knew. All right, sermon for another day. But he wrote on here his last will and testament. How many guys have a will? Raise your hand. A will, like if you die, we know who to give your car to. All right? Anybody? You have a will? All right, who does not have a will in here? Raise your hand. You guys got to get a will. I'm not joking. Because you could drive out of this parking lot right now, and you would need to make sure that Dave gets your Ferrari, okay? All right? So I just want to make sure you know that, all right, just joking. Okay, all right. But seriously, what happens? Like I have if I die, ladies and gentlemen, I have my will in my wife's, I think it's nice, nightstand. I think, just look to my house, all right? So it's there. It tells you who my kids will go to live with. It tells you on what to do with my house. This is like if Rachel doesn't, or she dies with me, all right? So in other words, everything is hers, and everything I own is hers, and everything she owns is hers. So we just need to find out what she wants, type of thing. Okay. But I am, Rachel, how old am I? I'm 43 years old. So I could die, but what do I do with my stuff? What do I do with my kids? That's what a will is for. Why? So that you, whoever I lead in charge of executor of my will, can say, thus says David. That makes sense? Thus says David. You can have the $5.75 in my savings account. You can have it or give it to my kids. That makes sense? This scroll was that. It was the will of God, the will of Jesus, and they wrote on it that nothing can be added to it, nothing can be subtracted to it. So when the seal's broken, he opens it up and he starts reading the will of God, the will of Jesus.